Off the Cuff is supported by Patreon. Join today and become an honorary producer and get in-show credit on every episode. Hi everybody, and welcome to Off the Cuff Healthy Cooking with Craig Mitchell. Today's show reminds me of that old song we used to sing as a kid. You know, I scream, you scream, we all scream for Fudgsicles and Fruit Bars, of course. Now, I love ice cream, but you know what? Even sugar-free ice cream is a calorie bomb and could push you out of a calorie deficit you might be working towards keeping. Now, when I think of Fudgsicles, I go right back to the summer of my childhood, you know? The ice cream man would come and you would get your favorite ice cream, but sometimes you didn't feel like ice cream, you know? You felt like something different, something lighter, something like a fudgsicle. Yeah, you would go up to them, you would get it, you would unwrap it, and it was sweet, it was icy, it was chocolatey, it was perfect. Yeah, so that's my memories of fudgsicle all the time. And as far as fruit bars, well, my mom introduced me to those in the late 70s, early 80s. That's when she became aware of them. And they were such great alternatives to ice cream. She would keep a box of fruit bars in the freezer, so if we ever got that sweet tooth and we wanted something sweet, we could reach for a fruit bar. Now, it did have calories, it did have sugar, but it was a lot less, it was a lot lighter, and oh, they were so good, they were so tasty. And who could beat those fruit flavors? And today we're going to embrace those fruit flavors as I'm making a homemade sugar-free version of fruit bars. And the flavors I chose, blueberry and raspberry. And I'm also making a homemade version of a fudgsicle. And it's really easy. I just need my freezer and some silicone molds I bought. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, with no further ado, let's start the show. All right, so I made ice cream before, but this time I don't need a machine. Nope. All I need is this and my freezer. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I can already tell this is going to be fun. This show is going to be a home run.
Ice cream. Get your ice cream here. Get your ice cream.
I recognize that voice anywhere.
Ice cream. Get your ice cream.
Hey, Mr. Jingles. Hey, it's good to see you again. Hey, you're in good voice.
Ice cream here. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
You know, Craig, I've moved up in the industry. I work at Dodger Stadium now.
Oh, the big leagues.
Did I detect a note of sarcasm there?
No, it's literally the big leagues.
You bet your sweet bippy.
My sweet what?
Oh, sweet bippies. They're one of our biggest selling items.
Oh, thank goodness.
You know, on a clear day, if I'm in full voice, you can hear me from the right field pavilion all the way to Vin Scully Way.
Oh, color me impressed. I'm glad it's working out for you.
The only color I see now is Dodger blue.
Ah.
Yeah, I remember, a couple of years ago when you and I first met.
Yeah, me too.
When we first met.
Right, yeah, I remember.
Well,
Huh?
Craig, aren't you going to show a washed out flashback clip so I can set the scene?
Oh, sure. Here.
Yeah. Okay, there I was, minding my own business, selling my delicious ice cream, and you come along and you're all about sugar-free this and low-carb that.
I still am.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm here, my friend.
Oh, you want some sugar-free ice cream?
Oh, if I had a drumstick in here, I'd bop you with it.
What's the problem?
The problem is that after you, more and more people wanted sugar-free, low-carb, lower-calorie ice cream.
I didn't realize I had that kind of influence.
Well, that's why I went to work at Dodger Stadium.
Oh, okay.
There's one thing I can tell you about the Dodger faithful. They love their ice cream.
Sounds like a marriage made in heaven.
Oh, it is. Have you ever witnessed the sunset over Chavez Ravine from Section 3, Row H, with a cone in your hand? It's a religious experience.
Thank you for sharing that with me.
Well, that's not why I'm here. I'm here because of this.
I don't follow.
Yeah, well, you're at it again.
I'd say what now?
Oh, look, I realize that I've got to keep up with the times. So now I carry sugar-free ice cream, low-carb ice cream, keto and high protein and vegan and frozen yogurt, and even cottage cheese-based ice cream.
Cottage cheese?
Anyway, I've got all of that stuff, but guess what I don't have?
More room in that cooler?
No, I don't have a sugar-free fruit bar or fudgesicle.
Oh, I see.
You're trying to get me?
No.
Yeah, you're going to give me another hernia.
Another hernia.
Yeah, I got my first one going after a Shohei Ohtani foul ball.
Ouch.
Yeah, a bunch of kids jumped on it. I had to peel them off one at a time. This is when it happened.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, they were, they fought like banshees. It was all this screaming and crying.
Yeah, kids are going to do that.
No, I was the one screaming and crying. It was worth it.
You know what, Mr. Jingles? The fudgesicle and the fruit bar, I meant it more as a DIY, do-it-at-home kind of thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, so don't worry about it. Give yourself a break.
You know what? I think I will. I need only one more playoff run and I can retire.
There you go.
Hey, what flavor of fruit bar are you going to make?
Oh, I'm making raspberry and blueberry.
No strawberry? You know, he was a Dodger and a Mets.
Yeah, I know, but strawberry's bad for my bippy.
Oh, that's too bad. You know what?
What?
Here are the ingredients.
Okay, let's take a look at these ingredients. First up, the fruit bars. You need 2 1/3 to 3 cups of blueberries and also raspberries. 2 cups of water. 1/2 cup of heavy cream. 3/4 of a cup or to taste of sweetener. I'm using monk fruit allulose. 1 to 2 tablespoons of lemon or lime juice. And 1/4 cup of low-fat plain Greek yogurt. That's going to be optional. Now for the fudgsicles. 1 3/4 cups of unsweetened almond milk. 1/2 cup of heavy cream. 1/4 cup each of unsweetened cocoa powder and sweetener. Again, I'm using monk fruit allulose. 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And 1 to 2 ounces of sugar-free melted chocolate chips. That's optional, but I'm gonna do it. Okay, as my old boss used to say, here's my dilemma. As far as the silicone molds, I have these, but there's only slots for 6 bars. I'm making 3 bars. I'm making a blueberry, raspberry, and fudgesicle. So I'm gonna have to go 2, 2, and 2. So I'm gonna make 2 each. So as far as that recipe goes, I'm gonna have it. Yeah, I'm gonna have it. Yeah, I have to have it. I have to. I'm just putting the sticks in now. So I figure what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the mixtures and I'm gonna save it. Then I'm gonna pour it into the molds later. So that way they can one trip into the freezer and we're all good. This is harder to get in than I thought. Okay, finally our sticks are in our molds. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Okay, now let's make the raspberries. Let's do it. All right. First, we start with 1 1/2 cups of raspberries, which I measured, which I didn't have to measure because the bag I bought held pretty much that. So put the raspberries in, boom, and da boom, and put them in. And now we're going to blend them. You can do this in a food processor too. Actually, it's not doing anything, is it? There we go, now it will. Remember, always use the right instrument or appliance for the job. My blender, it was the wrong one. It really didn't work. So I switched to the food processor. Not much better. Okay, that looks really good. Now we're going to put in our 1/2 cup of water. This I put in. It says your sweetener to taste. I did 2 tablespoons of monk fruit allulose. Keep this nice and mixed. Okay. Now here's some lemon juice. Here's some vanilla extract. Very nice. And now the 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. All right. Hey, look at that. That looks good enough to drink. I'm going to strain it though, just to make sure I get all the little bits and pieces out of it. So I'm going to strain this. So let's put in our raspberry. And to strain it, you're just going to do this. Stir it around. So the bigger bits will get stuck in the strainer. See, all these are the seeds and parts of the raspberry which may not be so aesthetically pleasing. I think I got it all now. So that's what's left over. But I got it all. There we are. Okay. All right, now at this point, we can taste this to see if we want any more sweetener. Just a little bit. It's very tart, but a little bit more sweetener. Yeah. Okay, so I figured about a tablespoon more of the monk fruit allulose, and this we can just stir in. We don't have to put this in the food processor again. Now we taste one more time, just a little bit. Yeah, that's good. Okay, now it's time for our blueberries. There might be a little bit more of these, but we'll see. In they go. And let's start off by pulverizing these first. All right, let's start putting in our mixtures. First off, we put in our half cup of water. This is the same recipe as for the raspberries. In goes the water. That's going to help mush this up. In goes our vanilla. I'm not going in any specific order. I don't think we have to. The lemon juice. The heavy cream. 2 tablespoons of the heavy cream. Learning from the raspberries, I'm doing 3 tablespoons of the monk fruit allulose. There we are. Oh, that looks wonderful. Look at that. That's what we have right now. Now we are going to strain it like we did the last one. There might be more here because of the skin of the blueberries. Or it might be less if they disintegrated. We shall soon see. It seems to be moving through the strainer faster than last time. There's all the remnants of the skin of the blueberries, which you can leave in. It's absolutely fine. They're edible, they're delicious. I just want smooth, creamy results. There we have our blueberry mixture. I'm going to refrigerate this now. Okay, so our blueberry and our raspberry mixes are now cooling in the refrigerator, and I'm about to make our fudgesicle mix. But first, you know what? Yeah, it's time for food facts. The popsicle was invented in San Francisco in 1905 by 11-year-old Frank Epperson. Well, he's not 11 there. Yeah. What happened was he left a cup with mixed soda powder and water and a stirring stick on his porch overnight, and it froze. The next morning, he pulled it out, tasted it, and presto, the Epsicle was born. Yeah, the Epsicle. Jumping forward 18 years to 1923, Epperson applied for a copyright on his frozen ice on a stick. And he described it, well, actually, let me read this to show you how he really described it. A frozen confection of attractive appearance, which can be conveniently consumed without contamination by contact with the hand or without the need of a plate, spoon, fork, or other implement. I wonder if that fit on the box. Epperson recommended birch, poplar, or wood bass as the stick. Oh, and one more change. Now a father, Epperson's kids recommended he change the name to Popsicle, because he was their pop. And so, the Popsicle was officially born. By the late 20s, sales were slumping, so Epperson sold the Popsicle to the Joe Low Company of New York. Well, the Low Company immediately added a second stick. So now for 5 cents you had 2 popsicles in one purchase. On a hot summer's day in Coney Island, they sold over 8,000 of them. Pretty soon, the Good Humor Company issued a slew of lawsuits for copyright infringement, but the courts ruled that Good Humor had exclusive rights to ice cream, but the Lowe Company had exclusive rights to frozen water products. I don't think they showed up with those signs, though. Despite the court ruling, neither company coexisted very well. That is until 1989, when Unilever bought the Popsicle brand. Now, Good Humor and Popsicle coexisted under the same corporate umbrella. Popsicles got huge in the 1930s and the 1940s thanks to refrigeration and freezers becoming more prevalent. Kids could get their popsicles at the drugstore, shops, and also from the ice cream man. Popsicle Pete was introduced in 1939 on the Buck Rogers radio show. He actually continued to appear in ads into the 1990s. In 1946, Popsicle introduced the Fudgsicle. Yep, it was made with milk, cocoa, and a water-based mixture. It wasn't a popsicle, and it wasn't ice cream. It was its own thing. Boy, did they catch on. They had chocolate flavor, lighter texture, and cheaper ingredients. But still, they were rich, sweet, and had less calories than traditional ice cream. Mine will have even less. In the 1980s, the popularity of popsicles and fudgicles grew even larger, thanks to commercials like this.
A little something happens when I grab that stick. I'll become a pop star in just one lick. I'm a popsicle pop star. I'm a popsicle pop star.
In the 1990s, they were marketed as a healthier, low-calorie alternative sweet treat with diet and sugar-free versions available. Today, there are sugar-free, keto, and non-dairy versions available, but the original still rules the roost. As for me, I'm going to try to get as close as possible. And that brings us to Fruit Bars. The earliest Fruit Bars actually date back 2,000 years to ancient China, where fruit juices were mixed with snowfall. Just don't eat the yellow snow. Fruit Bars became huge in the 1960s. In Mexico, with paletas being around for decades, fruit flavors like mango, lime, tamarind, and chili were frozen on a stick. Like the Fudgsicle, they are water-based, and you just take fruit juice, fruit chunks, puree, and freeze, and you have a healthier, lighter treat that competes with ice cream. In 1994, the Food and Drug Administration ruled that in order to be called a fruit bar, it must contain real fruit, not just fruit flavoring. Put that fruit in there and bang, you've got a fruit bar. The three biggest makers of fruit bars are Outshine, Dole, and Popsicle. The big seller is Outshine. I guess they're outshining them. I'll see myself out. National Fudgsicle Day is June 16th. There isn't a National Fruit Bar Day, but National Cherry Popsicle Day is August 26th, and I'm sure they'd be willing to share the date. Pretty sure. The double stick popsicle was created during the Depression so you could get two treats for the price of one. Unfortunately, it was discontinued in 1986. Over 2 billion popsicles are sold each and every year, and Fudgsicle is one of their top-selling products. However, individual sales numbers are not released, but rest assured, it's a lot. The aforementioned Outshine Fruit Bars debuted in 2013, and each year they make sales of over $500 million. They work fast. Outshine Fruit Bars are owned by Nestle. As you probably have figured out by now, neither the Fudgsicle or Fruit Bars are classified as ice cream. They are officially frozen desserts. And that's Food Facts. Okay, we've set this to medium heat so it will simmer, and we put in our almond milk, our cocoa powder, and our sweetener. Now I'm putting in the pinch of salt. And you know, I feel very comfortable. I didn't have to show you all that because, you know, my show is you know, you've watched my show for a while, and you don't need to see all the little shortcuts. Plus, I forgot to turn the camera on. Okay, so we're just going to simmer this and stir it until it gets very well incorporated. Okay, so we're going to let this simmer for 2 or 3 minutes before we put in the rest of our ingredients. Now, while this is doing that, I'm going to melt 1 ounce of sugar-free chocolate chips. Now, to melt those chocolate chips, as always, 30-second increments. And you stir it until it gets nice and melted. It's not cheating if you're cooking. Yep. Our chocolate is melted. Okay, now I'm turning off the heat. And I'm pouring in the heavy cream. And the vanilla. Now we stir. I was going to say vigorously, but we're not stirring vigorously. We're just stirring to mix it all in. It looks great. It looks great, doesn't it? Yeah, it looks good. Now, while it's still warm, take your melted chocolate and put it right in. So let it cool now for about 5 minutes or so. All right, so ran into a little problem when I was trying to pour the mixture into the molds. This mold was torn and everything just started leaking all over the table. Fortunately, I have enough left to make a fudgesicle, but now I only have 3 molds, which means 1 fudgesicle, 1 blueberry, 1 raspberry. But we'll have 1 of each, which will be good. I guess that's why they call it off the cuff. All right, here goes take 2. Here goes the surviving fudgesicle mixture. If this leaks again, I don't know what I'm going to do. But it's not leaking so far. All right, there's your fudgesicle. What do we got here? Now we have the raspberry. Raspberry goes in here. There goes the raspberry. All right, so far we're 2 for 2. This is looking promising. Now, that was the blueberry. That was the blueberry. This is the raspberry. You'll be able to tell as soon as you see this color. Yeah. I'm not colorblind. There we go. There we are. They're not leaking. Yay. Now I can save these and I can order more of these that work and we'll be in good shape. Now we cover it with this. I'm being very gentle with this. Into the freezer it goes. There. Now we let it freeze. Yeah, my freezer's a mess. I'm sure you saw that. Anyway, now we let it freeze for 4 to 6 hours, and then we have 3 very different pops. 2 raspberry that looks blueberry. Raspberry, blueberry, and a fudgesicle. I can't wait for this. And just like that, we're back at my childhood. I made a fudgesicle and a raspberry and a blueberry fruit bar. I cannot wait to try this. It was, I know, I say this every show, but it was really easy. Okay, except the blender didn't work. That was kind of a pain. Also, I realized what I did. When I was trying to put the sticks through the mold, the first mold, I actually put it through and it went through the bottom. Created a big hole, so when I poured in, the liquid, it spilled all over the workspace. So that was my fault. The actual equipment was fine. That was on me, but it doesn't matter. It worked out. We have a fudgesicle and fruit bars, and I kept it in the freezer until right now. I wanted it to be nice and cold. Oh yeah. Yeah, see? Here they are. Plus, I have the molds filled with 3 more because I had leftover stuff. That's great. I don't know what to try first. I mean, well, you know what? There's 2 fruit bars and there's only 1 fudgesicle. Let's try a fruit bar. Let's try the raspberry. Look at that. Look how pretty. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. And the fruit bar too. Cool. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna try it. Ooh. Tart and sweet. You taste the raspberries because that's what it's made out of. I flushed and I got goose pimples. Wow, this is good. Not overly sweet, not overly tart. So refreshing. Wow. Okay. Okay. I want to finish it. Now for the blueberry. Here we go. See that? Look at it. Here we go. Blueberry. I don't know what to say. It's fantastic. I made this myself. Oh my God. It melts in your mouth with ice. It's absolutely delicious. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. It's a little sweeter than the raspberry one, probably because the blueberries are. Wow. Wow. Healthy, delicious. Not going to affect my blood sugar. You saw those macros. Unbelievable. I got to try one more. Now for the fudgesicle. Look at that, baby. Look at that. And the thing is, this has the lowest carbs of all. This has one net carb for the whole thing. Here we go. Let's see how it tastes. It's a fudgesicle. It's like biting into iced chocolate. Oh my god. I'm sorry. This is the best desserts I've ever made. These are amazing. I will be making these over and over again. Oh man. One more. This is fantastic. I mean, they're all fantastic, but I love the fudge. On that note, that's it for this time. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back here again in another 2 weeks with another show and another recipe. Until then, be well, eat good. One more.